Fashion's not something I've been particularly good at growing up. It's not something I place a lot of importance in, but due to my tangential love of film, it's impossible to deny its impact on the industry. Everybody has fashion whether they like it or not. Everybody holds themselves in a certain way. How you do that can say a lot about you as a person, like where were you born, or when were you born, or how were you raised? It's fun to look at it from a historical perspective, and it's fun to see what looks good. I think for a lot of independent productions, costume design is seen as some luxury you can't afford, but really it's a luxury that you have to afford if you want to make a lasting impression. It's tantamount to cohesion between the characters, and it's important for maintaining the visual style. I wouldn't say a character always has to look good, but if they're gonna dress like shit, it has to look like interesting shit, like the Big Lebowski or something like that. So, the costumes that don't look like shit are challengers. One of the biggest pet peeves I have about costume design awards is that they only nominate costume designs from period pieces. I understand, those costumes take more time to put together, but I think we often overlook some really good modern designs that way. My favorite thing about the costume designs in this movie is that they're simple, unextraneous, and casually iconic. I can recognize a lot of their designs right away, and I think it's because the characters are clearly defined within them. Hundreds of beavers. The theme with this film is that they're doing more with less, and guess what? They're doing more with less here. The costumes are probably the greatest example of it though, because they both feel like a $30 onesie you can find on the rack, and synonymous expressions of the film. It's kind of what makes them different from any other film, and because of its comedic roots, these costumes only add to the charm. La Chimera. I think this movie specifically and intentionally places a lot of importance in its clothing. The main character wears the same clothes pretty much throughout the entire runtime to metaphorically showcase the burden he's still holding within him. It's a great thematic touch and also a good look, working well on both levels. Each of the other characters are very individualistic, with well-defined wardrobes and thoughtful designs. Queer. I think on a technical level this film is a masterpiece, whether you're talking about makeup, production, performances, or costume design. It's a cohesive film where all of these fit together oh so brilliantly. What can I say more about this film? I've nominated it so many times. I love the way Daniel Craig looks in that tan suit. It just looks sick as hell. I remember seeing a still a couple months before it came out and thinking, damn, this movie is already a banger before I even saw it. The Brutalist. What do I love about these designs? They were sleek. I mean, this film being entirely centered around brutalism, you'd expect everything to have a pretty uniform style, which it did, but that only enhanced the final picture and gave it the kind of authorial intent that you look for in these kind of films. The substance. Who could forget those 80s exercise jumpsuits? The style in this picture is just so vivid and realized, it's practically jumping off the walls. It's exciting, complimentary, and colorful, everything you'd hope it would be. Also, very fake in some ways, which if you've seen the film, you know how much of a good thing that is. I hope I can get more into fashion, at least enough to not look like a loser at parties. Until then, there's still a lot of work to do. Many of these costumes would also not fit in parties, but I'll tell you, it doesn't mean they're not deserving of a Golden Turtle Award. The winner this year has to be... La Chimera. It was hard to choose this time around, but I had to go with my gut and pick a film that has so much whimsy and so much intent put into its costume design. It felt both real and extraordinary, a line which is incredibly difficult to toe in between. Special shout out to Queer, which contained a technical lightning in a bottle. I think it has something to do with my love of that time and production mixed with their ability to modernize it. I'm also a sucker for color, brightness, and the like. I'm gonna give it a silver turtle. But that's it for me. I'm gonna go to bed now. Maybe I'm going to play some computer games. If you like any computer games, let me know what you play. I play Duck Game. It's a small game where you're little ducks and you shoot other ducks. You're like you're little ducks and you shoot other ducks. I mean, what's not to like about that? You wear cute little hats and you shoot each other. It's very fast. That's what I'm going to hopefully play now if my friends are playing Duck Game. If they're not, I'll probably cry myself to sleep. It's like one or two options. It's either play the duck game where you shoot other ducks or you cry yourself to sleep. So I'll let you know which one it was next video. But until then, I'll see you later.